Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Of course, back here with Farshad. We've got an exciting kind of drilling update. Obviously we moved the drill, but we'll get into that in more detail. Of course, we got the expert himself here, going to give some of the insights. Why, what the goals are, things like that. But first, Farshad, how are you?
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. No complaints. So we got a bunch of snow in Toronto. I guess that's the only thing I'm complaining about. But oh well.
We have a bunch of, sun in here.
I was told it was a sunny day. So,
It
but
is
hey,
fun.
it seems like it's a pretty great week. At Doubleview. So you guys have a little drilling update. I'll let you intro it. Of course, if people didn't see the news, you guys moved the drill. Quite a bit away from where you were drilling before. Do you want to talk about where you moved the drill and why?
We have been at the live zone, which is on the east side of the HAT project, and it's sort of north-south, if you want to call it. We call it one zone, but it has a south zone to that, which is Hoi on the east side, and on the west side, we have zones that we haven't named them because we got to see how they turn out to be. But we are very excited. The target has been picked up based on the surface features that we've had in there, and most importantly, the IP. Because our job right now is in this campaign is one thing is to prove that the IP works, and this is the blueprint, if you want to call it, to the deposit and how reliable it is. That's the first thing we want to do. The second thing we want to do, this is a, sort of a new area, 1.5 kilometers away from the center of the Lyle. It makes our domain of exploration to hopefully 2.5 kilometers. I'm saying hopefully because I like to see something happening in here. And north-south so far is about 1.5 kilometers in domain, and we like to extend that also in this season before the year is ended.
Yeah.
And it's very significant because this zone, if it is proven, is connected from down below to the other zone, and it gives us a large volume of exploration, which is very important. Then after this, then we can go and fine tune the drilling and etc. I'm excited to see what the IP is going to give us because this is really nerve wracking. You want to see this is working as well because once this works, then every IP on the property works and we confidently and gradually moving towards them.
Yeah. So talk to me, I think what got a lot of people interested. So of course you're moving elsewhere, to hopefully, I saw people in the group, improve tonnage, show what else is on the property, all sorts of other stuff. But talk to me about, a 60-degree angle, right? So curious, just to tell people, hole 36, the angle that you guys were drilling there was what?
It was close to vertical, very
Yeah.
close to vertical,
So
85.
so you're drilling like kind of down on an angle, and now you're drilling something, like this. Why would you do that for people that, again, aren't mining experts? Why are you going to, so you start, of course, you have these vertical holes where we've proven mineralization, and now you're moving elsewhere and drilling on an angle. What are the reasonings for that?
Normally, in the initial exploration of any target area, we do it differently than the lag zone. In the lag zone, we did it almost so vertical to hit the target down below. Our target is very deep and we want to go through it all the way. So that's why we did it. We shouldn't forget, lag is a deposit. This deposit has, we have to keep extending that. And that's what we did. We want to extend it to the depth. We want to extend it laterally, north-south. This new area is completely new area. It looks like a new project, and we don't know anything about it. That's why we come up, we look at the horizons of mineralization, and we want to go through all of them to see what's happening. It doesn't matter really what we get, even from the barren areas, whatever. We want to see how the column is. What is the target? The target is, can we find mineralization in that? Then it will give us the method to drill it next time. But as we move forward, drilling on this is going to be mm, towards more vertical, hopefully, and find more. The role of an angled drill hole is to find laterally and at depth what is happening and gives us one good area. But as we go like that, then we want to see what's happening at the depth. So that's what we're doing. Hopefully, this is successful. I'm like all of you guys have no idea what's happening.
Hypothetically, down the line, the mine was going to be developed and it was an open pit mine, is also a reason that they're drilling at 60 degrees, just because that's how the pit would form. Is that a big reason for kind of next steps, or is this really just to see what's
No,
connecting the two?
no, I'm afraid they don't have any relation between the pit and this type of drilling. At the end of the day, when we do drilling further on this one, we got to drill it every 50 meters to prove up the deposit. Infill drilling but right now our target is not infill drilling. Our target is not at all like that. Our targets are: do we have mineralization? Any amount is fine, perfect. Second, how large of this system we can cut through and we see it. And then third, when we see these types of mineralization as we go, then we vectorize this and we go towards the system wherever it is. If it is moving towards north or south or depth, then the next drill hole we target that and we learn more. As we drill, we learn more and we do it. One significant thing about it is, I don't want to name names, so to be correct, a deposit like 300 meters by 600 meters or 700 meters and 300 meters depth creates a pit which is 1.7 kilometers by 800 meters. Just imagine if this one turns out to be what we think should be, and with the lag zone, we have about 2 kilometers, the really large area that has to be put into open pit. And just you can imagine how far we have to go open and have a monster pit on that.
Yeah.
This is this will show, hopefully, if everything works out, how large this system is. And then we can show it to the world, listen, we're sitting on a very monster project here.
How important is this hole? Would you say, arguably, is this one of the most important holes Doubleview has ever drilled?
It is very important. It is very important to us. It could be one of the most important drill holes that we've done. It'll extend our deposit from east to west for about 2.5 kilometers. And the second thing, it proves that the IP works and it gives confidence to the shareholders and all investors that whenever we target the IP, we have a joy out of it. This is really at the same time nerve-wracking, but it's very important to us. Seriously, I'm very excited to see what's coming out of it.
Yeah. So some potential big things coming, hopeful, fingers crossed, knock on wood, everything. I want the shareholders to be knocking on wood too. That, obviously this is a huge thing. But it sounds like a very exciting point for Doubleview. Of course, we're all very hopeful, but if this hits, this could be massive, is what you're saying.
Massive, absolutely. That's the correct word. I don't want to count the chickens before they hatch, but I'm very confident on the targeting. So far, the IP has given us the success. I really believe in this, and I hope this works. And we're going to bring joy to our shareholders.
You plan length of 600 meters. What made you pick 600 meters? Why only 600 meters? I saw a bunch of questions like this. Do you have any insight there?
Yeah, first of all these holes that we are drilling right now have been designed by several scientists from our previous partner, Hudbay, and they did extensive work on this, and they gave us the blueprint. And this 600 meters, what they did, it doesn't mean it's 600 meters. It has to be. We will see. I'm waiting for my guys to get back to me. If they see mineralization, they keep going. They won't stop it. They stop it normally 50 meters beyond mineralization. The last one that they can visually see it. And that's what the angle, the shape, and everything else is coming from.
So
Some of these field
600 is a target, like you're saying, but the hey, the opportunity to go deeper is there. I know we did a video. The drillers want to go through Christmas, so who knows, right? Is kind of what you're saying. Though you did say that the goal is 600 meters, and then we'll see.
we'll see, yes. It's 600 meters is the minimum. I don't want to go deep on this one because this is the first time we are hitting this target. Once we know it is mineralized and how it is mineralized and looking at the sections, then we define the next targets on that.
We're drilling it now. We still haven't gotten the first assays yet. So when can people maybe expect news? I'm going to ask. Obviously for hole 36, you announced some visible gold. You announced some core samples, things like that. What you guys are seeing. Can we expect a similar thing here, or is this, hey, you guys have to wait for assays? Just curious, where's your head at? No promises, of course, but I would love to ask on behalf of the shareholders.
I'm aiming as soon as I get the updates from the field, in a timely fashion to give them the updates so they see what we see. I hope it is done well. I'm crossing my fingers. I have a very good sense on that. And the moment I get the data, I have to share it with the shareholders. And as far as the assays go, we are really at the mercy of the labs. Once they give it to us, we have to publish it in a timely fashion, again, disclosure. And we're really abiding by those rules.
People are just asking for an update. Have you heard from the labs for either hole 35 or 36? Is there any update there? When can people kind of expect to see something?
I'm hoping before the end of the year, sincerely, we should receive batches of samples. And as soon as we receive, we publish it. Definitely before the end of the year. My hope is to get some assays. And I think some of it will fall into the new year. And as I explained it before, I'm very confident on this lab. I like the way they do their assays. The quality control is really significant issue for us. We have to keep it. That's why I want to stay here. Otherwise, there are other ways to get things done too, but I want to stay with the same lab.
Hopeful, of course, our fingers are crossed. This is a very important point for Doubleview. Hey, the potential, really, and we can go into it hopefully in more detail another call, depending on where we're sitting news wise. Throughout this month, maybe we can do a deeper dive into, what it means if this hits, depending on how long and how things are going. So we'll see what kind of updates we can give people. But I think this was great. Again, very important hole being drilled right now. Our fingers are crossed, and hopefully we can expect some good results.
Yes, hopefully. We're all crossing our fingers.